Hello and welcome in, everyone, to downtown Tulsa, where tonight at One Oak Field, the Tulsa Roughnecks will welcome in the Rio Grande Valley Toros from South Texas. The story of the season so far for the Roughnecks has been the hot start to their season here in 2019. 7 points at the top of the table in the Western Conference, and boy, what a quick 7 points that it has been. As a matter of fact, last season, this team did not hit the 7-point mark until halfway through the season. As a matter of fact, 11 goals so far. The top goal scorer in all of USL is right here in Tulsa with Luca Lobo, but the team itself with 11 goals on the season so far, they did not reach that total until May of last season, so it's been quite the torrid pace so far for the Roughnecks, and they will get an opportunity again here tonight against Rio Grande Valley. Struggling a little bit on the early season is Rio Grande Valley with 1 point so far. That came on the road in a draw with New Mexico United. So that sets us up for tonight, where we will keep a keen eye on several players coming in, including one of our own, and that is Rodrigo da Costa. Leads the league with 3 assists so far, and he has been somewhat of a difference maker for the Roughnecks, even on set pieces. He will play an integral role tonight. One of the players that we'll keep an eye on for Rio Grande Valley is Romelio Hernandez, one of the goal scorers so far. Only 2 goals on the season so far for the Toros. He had a big goal for them on the road last week in order to get that 1 point there on the road. So with the 2 players that we have, now let's turn our attention to the weather for tonight. We've had rain in the area for the most part in the morning. We could have more showers move in before the game is over, so that could affect the pitch and how that ball will bounce around here on the turf at One Oak Field, so keeping an eye on that. Now let's turn our attention to the standings here in the West. As you see, Tulsa up top. This will be the 3rd home game in the early portion of the season for them. 7 points, though, through 4 games, and Rio Grande Valley through 3 games has 1 point. When we come back, we'll be set for kickoff. That's coming up next, live from downtown Tulsa at One Oak Field.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed with scoliosis, and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the recycling cart. But you can recycle this milk jug. You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
There you see the downtown picture from Tulsa, where we get set to bring you Friday night's action here in USL championship level, with the Tulsa Roughnecks hosting Rio Grande Valley FC. Roughnecks 2-1-1 on the season. Toros so far on the season just 1 point with that draw on the road there at El Paso. Let's take a look at the starting 11s. Tonight we'll start first with the visitors from Rio Grande Valley. And Dave, will focus Kyle Adams there in the back. Very versatile player that we'll see a lot of. He also has the ability to play centrally as well. He's looking to make sure to maintain there in the channels on the outside edge. And you've always got to keep an eye on Mr. Hernandez after that incredible goal that he had on the road there at El Paso.
Wasn't it a fantastic strike from Hernandez? He certainly will be one that I'm sure Mike Ensign has highlighted for the Roughnecks defenders to watch out for.
Let's move on to the home side in the Mazzio's Italian Eatery starting 11. Get ready for greats. Here's a look at the Roughnecks. Virtually the same lineup as last Saturday, except for one change, and that is Mason Steidehar on loan from Orlando City. He's got an incredible story. We'll tell you about that. But Lobo, the league leader in goals with 5, and let's not forget number 16, Mr. DaCosta, league leader in assists, tied with 3.
Two great players, and I said in commentary last week that it's not many teams that can boast your top goal scorer who plays at right back, Luca Lobo, who seems to be in the right place at the right time. So all set fair. It's going to be a good match, this one.
We are all set and ready to go with these two teams here in Tulsa on a Friday night. Welcome in, everyone. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders as we get set for tonight's action with Rio Grande Valley and the Tulsa Roughnecks. Roughnecks currently sitting at the top of the Western table. 7 points so far on the season. League leader in goals with 11, and they have been an offensive juggernaut, which we will describe for you a little bit more in depth from throughout the night. It's been a struggle so far for Rio Grande Valley as far as number of goals scored, only 2 so far on the season for them. And the one thing that you will notice with Rio Grande Valley is the fact that their offensive output as far as the number of shots is still relatively high when it comes to terms in the league. They just have not been able to find the back of the net. 29th in the league last year in 2018 with just a little over 30 goals scored, and they have opened up this 2019 campaign with some of the same ailments as they finished off last season with, and they will get things going here in an early to see if they can strike first here on the road with the league leaders.
And it's always good, isn't it, when you get off the mark? I mean, they lost those first two games. They got a point with 2 late goals, so they're up and running, and they've got their first corner here as the Roughnecks defend all in blue.
That was Enriquez that got towards the byline. It'll be a Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org. To welcome everyone watching it on ESPN Plus. Settle in for what should be a fantastic match here this evening. Here's Martinez. Right-footed corner, swinging in towards the penalty spot. It came off of one of the Rio Grande Valley players, and actually our center will say that the last touch there was there by one of the Roughnecks. In the center tonight, Kalen Radisov. Assistants, Shane Kennard, Seth Barton, and our 4th official is Roy Robinson. There between the two coaches. Michael Incian has his Roughnecks playing at an extremely high level here in the early portion of this season. It's another Red Crown Credit Union corner. Referee settling things down as they tend to do here in the early moments. In swinger this time towards the far post, headed away. That was Silva that came back the forward to actually clear that out of the box. It will result in a throw-in now for Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, actually, it was the 2 number 9s, wasn't it? It was Small against Silva. Silva got the better of him then. It was a real jostling wrestling match going on, but he just cleared it then, did the big number 9 for Tulsa Roughnecks.
And that should bring a smile to the face of Michael Incian, seeing his forward, one of the tallest players on the pitch this evening, making sure to help out his defense. Throw in for the Roughnecks, settle back, Legrandre. Attempted to play that one off of one of the Toros players, unable to do so. Altamirano fighting back and earns a goal kick here for the Roughnecks in the early going.
Yeah, you were saying about the prowess of the Tulsa Roughnecks, you know, with these goals. They've scored 11 goals, and Altamirano there in the picture. He got things underway here at One Oak in the 1-1 draw with Portland Timbers too, and it just seems to have taken off for the Roughnecks this season. Free scoring, and obviously from the home side supporters, they're hoping that can continue tonight. If you're an RGV fan tuning in, you want to build on that impressive point you got in the last game.
Zadai, who was parked centrally, had control of it for a brief moment. Bastidas out wide. DaCosta looking for Altamirano on the diagonal ball. Has it outside the edge of the box. Using that right foot poked away by the defender. Roughnecks will maintain possession and reset here with a die. And now back to the captain, Cyprian Hedrick, coming off of a goal last Saturday here at One Oak in the middle of the afternoon against Tacoma Defiance. Well played ball from Bastidas. DaCosta. Attempt at a cross. The defender got just enough of it to not allow its destination. Akil Barrett fights back, and the Roughnecks now trying to reset as his pocket picked here near midfield. And Martinez will try to pull that one back, but the Roughnecks take advantage and now have the ball one more time.
I think what Mike Ensign has done this season for the Tulsa Roughnecks is they attack together and they defend together. It's very much a team feel. He's got a great spirit going. He's experimented in a few positions, but this is a fairly settled 10 outfield players at the moment. And they're all, you know, as I said, attacking together and defending together and working for each other.
I think it was incredibly important for them to keep the clean sheet last Saturday and to build off of that. That's why we're continuing to see that continuity across the back line. Altamirano decides to keep on himself.
Yeah, no coach likes to see soft goals being conceded. And, you know, the 4-0 win against Tacoma Defiance, what was it, 6 days ago, was very impressive and very good game management in the end by the Roughnecks. They didn't do anything too wonderful in terms of, you know, attacking sense when they were 4-0 up. They just saw the game out and kept the clean sheet, as you said. Very important.
Wildly played ball over the touchline, throwing for the Roughnecks, who will now build from the back. Here is Malin Roberts, one of the more accurate passers for the Roughnecks. He's had a good start to the season for him. Here in the 7th minute. Just underway on a Friday night. 3 games on the schedule tonight. 2 of those are already underway. We have another one coming up a little bit later at 9 o'clock. They're on the West Coast. DaCosta. Barrett left. Trying to find Altamirano on the diagonal run. Defender did well to bring that one down over the air, and the referee now is waiting for that advantage. Calls this one back, and we'll have our first foul of the evening. Silva's making his point.
Just a little bit overzealous there. Good refereeing, likes to communicate with the players, which is always good to see for a centre referee.
Toros have 3 MLS players in the lineup this evening, including Michael Nelson, who is in between the posts. Cabezas at midfield, who's trying to get his legs back underneath him. Returned to training earlier in March, had a thigh injury in the second half of the CONCACAF Champions League opener there in Guatemala. Did not play much last year. As a matter of fact, missed all but 6 matches after dealing with injury issues. And also our first look at Tulsa's new addition to the lineup, Mason Steidehar, on loan from Orlando City SC. Feature for the United States youth teams on a consistent basis, most recently representing the under-18 and under-20 men's national team. And also has an incredible story as he is trying to make his way back from dealing with cancer, which we will tell you more about throughout the evening.
Yeah, important for him that he gets some good early touches on the ball, and he already has.
Enriquez. Oh, how about that defending? Le Grande. And then a foul, but that was great work from Enriquez to put himself in position there inside the 18, but Legrandre just took it completely away from him.
Yeah, it's a great battle, isn't it? And it was great defending from Legrandre, as we said, and it's going to be a good battle, him against Enriquez there. Enriquez, who scored the other goal against El Paso Locomotive the other night in the 2-2 draw.
Bastidas. Chopped down, foul there. Cabezas. This is the area where the Roughnecks have been extremely dangerous so far on the season. And immediately your eyes gravitate towards where is number 12. Right now, currently with his hand up there inside the 18. Looking for him on the far posts. Altamirano raises his hand immediately. That was to the outside there of the near post. He's had better efforts, says Altamirano.
Yeah, didn't quite get the shape of that one right. Immediately apologized, as you said. That was a handball deemed by the referee. And 2 of the 4 goals last week were from more or less the same delivery, weren't they? Cyprian Hedrick getting a rare goal from a wonderful delivery. From the Roughnecks is Rodrigo da Costa.
How about this start for Tulsa, Dave? 11 goals in 4 matches. They did not score 11 goals until match 15 last season. That was June 23rd.
Well, I think the most ardent of Roughnecks fans, you know, I've spoken to a few, are just rubbing their eyes as though they're dreaming, because it's a wonderful start, isn't it? You know, getting a 5 and then a 4 last week. Here they come again.
Rodrigo da Costa, step over move, plays one off the chest of the defender. Silva takes a tumble, and RGV will send this one forward, keeps it on the ground, and da Costa comes right back. Bastidas out wide, not enough on that. Maybe try to cut it too far to the inside. However, the Roughnecks have not allowed RGV that much possession outside of their own defensive third. And here they are one more time. They are controlling the pace and tempo of this game so far.
They are, and but I think credit to RGV. They've certainly done their homework on the Roughnecks, and they're trying to shut down the space as quickly as they can. But as we said, with this 11 goals, they're a potent attacking force of the Roughnecks. And, you know, it is unusual. Those of you that have followed the Roughnecks over the years know that goals have been hard to come by at times.
Silva. Nice stop, looking for Legrandre. RGV tried to poke that one past Cyprian Hedrick. He tracks it down. Unable to keep that one in play. They're directly in front of Enriquez. You know, to expound on that start, it's actually the fastest 11 goals in the team's history. 2015, the 11th, came on the 12th match, June 5th. 2016 was the 15th match on July 1st. And the 1 year that the Roughnecks have qualified for the playoffs in 2017, they saw the 11th goal happen on May 25th, which was match 10. So you can tell just how far they are ahead as far as pace is concerned. Settled here with Enriquez. Blocked away from Hedrick. Bouncing ball, back off, tried the volley. Unable to complete it was Hernandez. Hernandez, one touch outside, Enriquez, head up, looking to cross that ball. It's on the ground. That one came off of Hedrick. Misplayed there, and this will skip to the other side as the captain raises his arms. That could have been a nightmare scenario, as it looked like Steidehar was trying desperately to get to that far side of the post. Roughnecks fortunate there.
Well, we've all seen those sliced into the top corner of the net. Here it is on the replay. Cyprian Hedrick, by his own standards, won't like seeing that again. Corner. And fortunately for the Roughnecks' point of view, it didn't end up in the back of the net.
Short corner, then the ball played there. One hop through the box. And as you don't like to see those land inside the box like that.
No, bouncing, but as if to say, I'm your captain, I can do it. There's Cyprian Hedrick with a brave header away, nods it away.
Yeah, Kyle Adams was up all the way from the back line of Rio Grande Valley. He was the closest Toro There's a giveaway, center of the pitch. Rio Grande. Altamirano has 2 Toros tracking with him. Spins to the center of the pitch. Then we'll leave it here for Dye and Bastidas. Good heads up ball from Bastidas, trying to race onto it as Akil Barrett. He gets there in enough time. Proper defending there from the outside. Well done from RGV to turn away Akil Barrett, who at times last week, Dave, it felt like that he deserved a goal on several occasions, just couldn't find the back of the net last week.
He is one of the quickest players in the squad. He was really Usain Bolt-like as he went down the right-hand side, but credit Coronado, the left back there, with a fantastic tackle. But as you say, he just didn't have the composure in front of goal that he would have liked, but it was his first start last week, so we'll give him a little bit of time to settle in. But I'll say again, fantastic piece of defending from Coronado. And watch out for that battle. Akil Barrett for the Roughnecks and Coronado for RGV Toros.
Coronado from Cal State Fullerton. Appeared in 67 games, 5 goals, 18 assists.
It's a good game, isn't it, Pop?
It is.
I mean, it's really 2 great attacking sides really wanting all 3 points tonight.
Coronado, by the way, this is his second start. Got that season opener at Tacoma Defiance, played the full 90 there. Altamirano turns, has help to the outside if he wants it, and then we'll play it there. Weighted ball, too much from the left foot. The outside on the run from Rio Grande, right idea from the Roughnecks, but they are turned away here in the 16th minute. Fans, you can follow the Roughnecks and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Martinez was able to bring in that ball right outside the center circle. Here come the Toros. Turn and a shot, no trouble whatsoever for Mason Steidehar.
Yeah, Carlos Small, the ball kind of got under his feet a little bit, and he struck it from, 25 yards out. No problem at all for Steidehar. He'll be pleased to just get a couple of easy catches on the ball, obviously making his debut for the Roughnecks tonight. Good build-up from RGV, though.
That was more of a central approach from RGV. Rodrigo. Hedrick, who's played every minute so far this season. Silva, just not enough. Attempting to play the square ball. Roughnecks, however, keep possession. Altamirano, who makes a living there in that channel. Stepped over, cuts to the far side of the post, and that will be a PK. He is cut down inside the box. That was Andrew Samuels, who was beat and took Altamirano down, and the Roughnecks now with an opportunity here early.
Well, you always know, don't you, when no defenders, even question the referee's decision. That is a definite penalty. There's Andrew Samuels in your frame, and he just got this wrong. Altamirano here, look there, and that's a clear penalty. And Altamirano is so dangerous when he gets in, and the Roughnecks have a chance, and it's Rodrigo da Costa from the spot.
Samuels is the rookie from the University of Maryland, and here comes Rodrigo da Costa. Has a chance now. Referee wants to go and make sure that no one is trying to cheat and step inside the box. That's Luca Lobo that's up there. Da Costa looking for his first goal of 2019. Fires and scores. Converts the PK, and the Roughnecks here in the 19th minute find their first lead of the night on the finish on the penalty kick by Rodrigo da Costa.
A lovely Pepsi, delicious, refreshing Pepsi goal celebration there for DaCosta. It was a definite penalty decision, and it was a definitely well-hit penalty, left-footed high into the top corner, and the Roughnecks have the lead inside the first 20 minutes.
You mentioned Rodrigo coming in, was tied for the league lead in assists, and now will notch his first goal of the season. Well hit ball, Dave.
Michael Nelson can't get near that. That is just one of the good penalties that you see. It's hit with the right pace and with the right angle. Nothing Nelson can do. And as you say, Rodrigo DaCosta gets his first goal of this campaign for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Goal number 12 on the season now for the Roughnecks. Not only, Dave, did we mention Cyprian, a tad bit more work, I think, than he initially wanted. Roughnecks not out of the danger area yet. Here's Enriquez inside the box. Referee waves that one off. Jeff Adai missed on that. You can see the referee using both hands to wave it off as Enriquez hit the turf inside the 18, and a bit of sloppy play here from the Roughnecks, and that is a sign that they do not want to see now with...
Well, a couple of things to tell you. I think Mike Ensign is not pleased with his defence. I think you were right when they just switched off for a moment. I think what I would say is I think Enriquez is a little bit lucky here that he doesn't get a card, because I think he falls to the ground there with no touch from the lad who's just scored the penalty for the Roughnecks, DaCosta. A little bit lucky there. He's got to be careful, because as we know, to flop and dive in the area is something that referees will produce cards for these days. You're correct. On the Tankersley Food Service replay there, it was a clear attempt to try to sell that to the referee. Good eye on you, my friend. And also as well, better news for the Roughnecks. At first I thought that was DaCosta that was down. It was actually Lobo, but he is up and okay. Yeah, and I'll make the point again that Coach Ensign for the Roughnecks was not happy about the way his defenders... He was more concerned with the defending than the diving. And, you know, that's good from a coach to be concentrating on his team rather than anything the referee's got to do. That's Eric McHugh, who was whistled for the foul. McHugh as well, sent down from MLS. Little bump from behind that draws a foul. Astidas for Adai. University of South Carolina is Jeff Adai. Split some time not only in Ottawa, but in Germany as well. Lobo just turns and tries to send that one forward as far as he can. That should be a foul there. Yeah, Jeff Adai wears 6. He's the holding midfield player, so important in the modern game these days, and he kind of is that shield in front of Malin Roberts and Cyprian Hedrick. 24th minute. Roughnecks leading 1-0 here at One Oak Field. I think you're right, not necessarily the best start for everyone across the back line. Had a few poor touches here in the early going. Roughnecks looking for them to settle in. Challenge from Altamirano. Enriquez thought that he was fouled. Let's say there was more contact on Enriquez there.
Nice cut pass to Costa. Ball played inside the box. Banging there was Martinez. Ran directly into Hedrick. And that's a rather solid lad to run into there inside the 18.
It certainly is. I was just going to say that's much better defending from Cyprian Hedrick, who everybody knows in this league is one of the outstanding defenders. And the Roughnecks were very glad to get him in their back line.
Cyprian 5'9", 178, a solid 178. I think this will be one of the areas that Michael Incian wants to see improvement on as well, is the number of completed passes. You start to look through 4 completed games. The Roughnecks were towards the bottom as far as the league is concerned with their passing accuracy. Number of passes total, because they have virtually a game in hand. Obviously that means more, but the completed passes and the passes and the percentage-wise hasn't been that great.
No, you want to keep the ball, don't you, and play to your strengths. And that's one of the many good things that Mike Incian has done for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And it means they've got the winning mentality. They've got possession of the football, and that's exactly what you want. And with everybody playing for each other, as I made a comment in the commentary earlier.
Roughnecks lead this series all-time 3-2-2, but had just 1 point from the 2 matches against Rio Grande Valley last year. Martinez tried to find Enriquez on the diagonal run. Lovely ball there from Altamirano. Bastidas on a dead run. In between 2 defenders. Silva shielded away from it by McHugh.
Yeah, it was good defending from McHugh there. Foiled the danger.
Carlos Small runs onto this one. Roberts. Poor touch there from Small. Pass was behind Monroy. Roughnecks quickly to the counter on the opposite end. Altamirano sets his right foot up. The blast directly at Nelson. Went up in the air, got it. No immediate danger for Nelson. A little bit of pace on it, though, from Altamirano.
If you're Altamirano and you're Mike Incian, that's exactly where you want him. 1 against Andrew Samuels. We know that Samuels brought down Altamirano. There's the shot. There's the easy save for Michael Nelson. We got thank you to our replays from our wonderful production team here.
Officials tonight, as we mentioned, Alan Radisoff, Shane Kennard also, with Seth Barton and Roy Robinson. That ball had a little bit more movement on it than I initially thought. Good look on the replay. Legrandre working against Enriquez. DaCosta with Silva. Bastidas harassed. Cabezas was there. That should be a foul on Cabezas. The referee will have a little chat with him and say no more of that.
Yeah, good refereeing.
Midfielder from Colombia.
Yeah, good refereeing again. Just went into the back of Bastidas there.
Cabezas won the Colombian League title with Medellin in the fall of 2016. Full transfer in 2017. Deportivo Cali. They're in the first division in Colombia. 33 appearances and 30 starts for him with the Houston Dynamo. Coming back from that thigh injury. Maybe a tad bit too much from McKeel Barrett there. Tried to take on 4 separate Toro players and eventually had the possession knocked away from him.
And just saying a little bit too much for the referee's liking and saying, any more of that, Mr. Barrett, and you will go into my book as well. Just ran into trouble here, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the triangle of defenders in that area and then tried to challenge in from behind. Enriquez from the touchline in the corner. Samuels, an opportunity there and quick to the point. Stidehar. It was on frame from Monroy.
Yeah, if you're an RGV Toros fan tuning in, you'll be buoyed with that because that was a good effort from Monroy. No real save for the Roughnecks keeper to make, but you know, that was a better move, wasn't it, from the men in orange tonight?
Rio Grande Valley comes in at 82%, number 2 in the league as far as passing accuracy is concerned. El Paso Locomotive leading the way at 85%.
And I think, you know, if improvements to be made for RGV, you just saw it there. They're just giving the ball away too much or playing it out. You know, they're not finding their men as accurately as the home side are. And so I'm sure the coach has noted that. And, you know, with, what, 50 wells.
Stidehar with a mistake. They're Small. And a golden opportunity that is missed. Carlos Small can't believe it. It was a giveaway there by Stidehar. And the first player to get to it was Martinez. Small was making the run, and we'll see here on the replay. Watch this from Martinez. Small. Golden chance. Absolutely missed. And you can see now with the reaction, both hands in the surrender Cobra stance. And Small now still kind of shaking his head at that one.
Well, I mean, you saw it there on the Taxi Foods. Whatever it takes replay. Small should have scored. Put it wide. And, you know, number 9 doesn't get too many opportunities in, you know, games. And by his own standards, he would have wanted to have seen the net ripple there, but he put it wide, I'm afraid.
That's also just one of those communications things as Small now with Hedrick. Ball sent towards the far post, headed out of play by Barrett. Right idea from him, brings up a Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org. And here over the last 10 minutes, Dave, it seems like the Rio Grande Valley has really kind of found themselves in this game for the first time.
They have. They're training by a goal to nil, as we know, but they're really feeling their way into this game, and they've had the more attacking prowess in the last few minutes. You're right.
A long corner settled here. Enriquez. Left-footed ball towards the near post. Stidehar has it. Michael Insian shouting out directions there from the Roughnecks bench. Gerson Echeverry, the head coach for Rio Grande Valley, has to feel better here over the last several moments about his team. The wind has picked up a bit here at One Oak as well. Substantial amount of rainfall in the early portion of the morning. The tarp was on the pitch and covers up the majority of it. But we're hoping that that stays away, even though the forecast says that we're near a 60% chance of rain tonight. Forecasts brought to you by Channel 8, Tulsa's local weather leader. It was an overcast day here in the city of Tulsa. Bit cooler temperatures coming up this weekend. Barrett has help to the outside. It's Lobo. Nice easy ball played inside the box and finally cleared away by the defender. Well done to the Roughnecks there. And Barrett with a great ball and a better overlapping run by Lobo.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. What a great run from Barrett. You'll see him run in here. Then he slides it out to Lobo. There was Lobo's cross. Good defending in the end, though, from Andrew Samuels. And it brings us up to another corner.
Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org. Rodrigo da Costa. Referee will now step in. A little bit of pushing and shoving here. That's Bastidas. Got tangled up with Martinez. Referee will pull them over. Quickly gives me a chance to tell you they can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Roughnecks, then click the follow button and keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on the Roughnecks next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Well, they got a header on it there towards the post, and proper play there from Cyprian Hedrick, too. Did you see he was posted up there on the keeper, trying to block that one away from Nelson?
Yeah, good pressure, and Hedrick up from the back, as you say, really cutting down the space and the vision of the keeper, Michael Nelson.
Another corner now. Ball sent in, Nelson off of his line. Punched that one away, all the way back out to a die. We have a Roughnecks player that is down there in front of the keeper, Nelson, and they are waving on the athletic trainer. Have not yet got a chance. Oh, it's Rodrigo da Costa, and he is holding above his right eye. Not quite sure if the keeper got a piece of him. That's why you see Michael Nelson come over and patting him on the chest. Injury report here brought to you by Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward. Check them out online at tulsaboneandjoint.com. Let's see here. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Fair play from the keeper. He has every right for the ball, the same way that Rodrigo does.
And the referee did really well there because he was waving on.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And we love to see that from the center official. Anytime that there's anything even remotely close to contact to the head, immediately wave the trainer on. Let's get this right.
Right. You feel sorry for the 4 stretcher bearers who've just trotted halfway across One Oak and
yes,
with nothing to do, and they've got to go off again. But no, sensible refereeing, and thankfully everybody's okay and kept safe, which is one of the important jobs of the center referee, of course.
Yes, it is. Michael Nelson from Katy, Texas. 20th overall, the 2018 MLS Super Draft. You see him there with Rodrigo there in the background. Played his college ball at SMU. 76 games, 27 shutouts, as da Costa from the corner flag will now jog down the far touchline.
And you just saw a picture there of the corner flag as Rodrigo da Costa ran past it, and you could see that the wind is actually in favor at the moment here at One Oak for RGV Toros.
It's picked up significantly. Rodrigo has been waved back on. Altamirano poked away from him. Here in the 38th.
I'll say again, it's a great game. Good advert for USL Championship football, this one, isn't it?
What's your thoughts on Bastidas, Dave?
I think he's settled into the season. He's in there with Jeff Adai, and I think he's become an important member of Mike Hensian's starting 11. Here's Barrett, though, on the right.
Silva. Altamirano settles. One touch too far out in front. Legrandre saves it. Good defending. RGV comes back the opposite way now. Samuels, who was guilty of the PK earlier that enabled the Roughnecks to score their lone goal so far tonight. Monroy. Difficult to take on 3 defenders.
Yeah, Monroy's trying his luck on the right-hand side, having started on the left, and that means Enriquez has gone to the other wing as well. They're just trying something a little bit different now to get a goal before half-time, the Toros.
McHugh steps in front of Silva. Roberts. That was all created, however, though, by Akil Barrett.
Stidehar, long service.
I think we've got 4 good centre-backs on show here. You've got Hedrick and Roberts for the Roughnecks. And I've been impressed with Kyle Adams and McHugh as well for RGV Toros. So I think good central defenders on display here at One Oak tonight.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about Kyle Adams. Last year, 25 appearances. He was pretty valuable to that 2018 squad. Center back, typically, but has filled in at fullback when called upon.
And I'm sure, if needs be, he could play in a back 3 as well. I know it's a back 4, but he's one of those versatile players, and I've been impressed with him tonight.
He even spent some time, got called up in the preseason with Dynamo. Very valuable for him. See now Enriquez, which has moved to the opposite side of the pitch from where he was earlier. Estidas now, slow, steady pace. Sprays it wide, Altamirano. Kind of walks it forward, waiting for some help. Nice ball play through Silva. Right idea, slipped in behind McHugh. Silva noticed it immediately. Just a bit too much for him to get to.
Yeah, lovely ball that from Altamirano, wasn't it? Splitting the defense, just overdid it slightly.
Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. And now Silva to the pitch.
Yeah, he's a big lad, and he's gone down there quite heavily. So we'll see if he's going to be okay.
Hopefully that he is. Writhing in pain.
Yeah, you can see it there on the replay. The, as you say, writhing in pain. The Tankersley Foods, whatever it takes replay, and there, now you can see he's being attended to.
Echeverry there in the background, barking out orders. Taking this opportunity. Looks like they're working, what, right knee, Dave?
Yeah, right knee or right leg, certainly. I don't think it was a bad
looks
challenge.
like he's holding kind of his right ankle
there.
there.
That's right. His right something. Let's conclude it there. But he, I don't think it was a bad tackle or anything. I think he just stretched out there, and I think it's one of those things that just unfortunately happens. So I hope he's okay to continue.
Injury update brought to you by Tulsa Bone & Joint, moving life forward. We have yet to tell you the story of Mason Stidehar, the keeper for the Roughnecks, 21 years old, on loan from Orlando City for the rest of the season. He was the team's 4th homegrown player after a successful stint with the U23s. At one point was the number 4th ranking national player by Top Drawer. He's been pretty much a backup, has also had a little bit of an injury bug as well. Just when it appeared that his career was set to take off, Altamirano had a hop over the top of Monroy. He was diagnosed with localized Ewing sarcoma. That was in 2017. He spent all of 18 on the season-ending injury list, and he finished his cancer treatment last year, got back to 100% this offseason. And there was not a very good chance that he was going to have much playing time at all as Altamirano comes to the opposite end. Looking there for Silva. Silva, left-footed blast, sent over the top of the crossbar. Oh, Roughnecks were close to making it 2-0 here in the 44th. All thanks to the work of Altamirano and Janu Silva.
Altamirano is so good here. You can see this again on our replay. Here he is. What's he going to do? plays a little ball left-footed in there. Good control here from the big man, Silva, and then he hits it left-footed. And to be fair, there's our man, Adams again, just putting pressure in. He gets a high five from his midfielder there, because that was a good piece of defending, which just put Silva off slightly.
Ball sent forward by Nelson. By the way, that localized Ewing sarcoma is a form of bone cancer. And it was just a routine exam by team doctors when they discovered a lesion, and just a pretty incredible story for him to be able to overcome that at the early portion of his career. And sometimes you wonder, you know, just starting to come into your own, how you're going to react to that. And so far, so good. And it's great to see him back on the pitch here, getting an opportunity.
And yeah, so say all of us. I mean, it's fantastic when any player from any team anywhere in the world comes back from something like that. Well done to him. Here's Alto Moreno again.
Right-footed blast. Woo! That might have put a hole in the wall back behind as it slammed into the Pepsi banner. We'll see on the replay. Watch the pace on this.
Yeah. But a few yards wide, but poor old Andrew Samuels, the right back. It's going to be 2 minutes as the Roughnecks come forward again with a shot.
And a goal! Incredible! Just as we were getting ready to announce stoppage time, the Roughnecks strike in incredible fashion. And look at Bastidas dance. Watch this on the replay. Right-footed blast. And I thought that was going to curl to the far side of the post, kissed off of the post and into the back of the net. And Bastidas has a goal right as the Roughnecks get set to head into the locker room here at halftime.
What a goal, and what a goal celebration. Pepsi, delicious, refreshing Pepsi. That is one of the goals of the week. And that is a wonderful strike. And what a great timing for the home side to get their second on the night. But take a bow, Mr. Bastidas. You don't hit them much sweeter than that. And beating a goalkeeper of the quality of Michael Nelson as well, I might add, who couldn't get anywhere near it. 2-0, and here is the goal scorer.
Goal number 2 for Bastidas on the year. Scored there as a sub against Orange County.
I mean, he just hit it so well, and it just had that curve away from the goalkeeper, which goalkeepers hate, don't they? Because it just means they can't get anywhere near it at all.
As the referee blows the whistle here and calls it into first half. And I wonder, Dave, how much of the wind that picked up at about the 25-minute mark here in the first half help aid that, because from my point of view, that was going well wide of the far post and just enough to hit to the inside and send the Roughnecks in front by a score of 2-0 here at halftime. And the scoring pace continues. And it's actually not a goal by a defender so far here in the first half, as the Roughnecks have the majority of their goals scored by defenders so far this season.
Well, the Roughnecks have built on that penalty they got inside the first 20 minutes, and they finish with almost the last kick of the half with an absolute belter. And they will go in, as we know, Mike Ensign will keep everything cool. And, you know, 2-0 is a dangerous score, isn't it? Because RGV Taurus will come out firing in the second half. Important team talk for both coaches to make here at halftime, Pop.
We'll take a timeout. Roughnecks leading 2-0 here at halftime at One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa. We'll be back after this.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
In about 8th grade, I realized that my knees really were hurting, and I ended up tearing both of my patellar tendons in several places.
Dr. Stanley and Tulsa Bone and Joint, he gave us all of our options, explained them, and we knew walking out that we were in the best place possible for her. From a mom's perspective, without Dr. Stanley, without his staff, we would not have been able to give her her senior year.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug. You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out tulsarecycles.com.
I'm Miranda Haynes with Hogan Assessments. I'm the head of our business development department, and we're here at the Hogan headquarters in Tulsa, Oklahoma, working with the Tulsa Roughnecks. Really what we're trying to do today is gather some player data to really look at how personality can predict performance, even in sports, not just in business itself. provide some feedback to a team that's near and dear to our heart. We have a lot of soccer fans here at Hogan, and One Oak Field is just down the street from us, so this gives us a great opportunity to interact with our community as well, and with those that are really seen as leaders in this community. So we're excited to be able to give back to the Roughnecks and to really be able to talk about how they can improve as a team and continue to build on their morale and really support one another and the community as a whole.
Look at that shot of downtown Tulsa, coming to you live from One Oak Field, where the Roughnecks currently leading the Rio Grande Valley Toros 2-0 here at halftime. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders. And Dave, what a first half that we have had so far for the Roughnecks, and virtually dominant so far in every statistic, including the most important one, which is 2 goals, 8 shots for the Roughnecks, 6 for RGV, 3 of those on target for the Roughnecks, 2 for RGV. And something that I mentioned earlier, coming into tonight, Rio Grande Valley was number 2 in the league as far as passing accuracy is concerned at around 84%, and it's been a complete reversal. Roughnecks, 226 passes at 84% to just 76% for RGV.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you to those people that do the statistics for us from the USL, because that does tell a story. And the story has been that the Roughnecks have kept the ball better than RGV Toros. RGV Toros have not found their men. They've played a few balls that have gone out for throw-ins, and they've just got to do better in the second half.
Here's the team of the week for week number 3, and there you see one more time our man there, Luca Lobo. And how could you not put him on the team of the week? 2 more goals last week. Of course, Cameron Iwasa, the player of the week for Sacramento, who had a hat trick in an 11-minute span in that 4-1 victory over the Energy from OKC. But just a incredible start there to the season for Luca Lobo.
Luca Lobo, who plays, as we keep saying, at right back, but he scored 5 times. As you said, he hasn't scored tonight. It's been all midfield and attacking players who've got the goals. And there's Cameron Iwasa, who we've seen play here at One Oak, and a very fine player indeed, a very fine striker.
And has Sacramento poised again to be one of the best teams in all of USL, and especially there in the Western Conference. So congratulations to him. Luca Lobo was in the running for Player of the Week. That was 2 weeks in a row now for Luca Lobo from the Tulsa Roughnecks, but Cameron Iwasa comes away with it there from the Sacramento Republic. Here at halftime, it is 2-0 for the Roughnecks. Take a look at the shots again there of downtown. We'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard. As we mentioned, there were 3 games coming up tonight inside USL. And you see there, almost close to being finished, Red Bulls 2, the 3-2 lead currently over Memphis 901 FC. And then the Defiance and New Mexico United, or Roughnecks, have seen both of those teams with the 4-0 victory over the Defiance last Saturday afternoon, and lost on the road there to New Mexico United 2-1 for their 1 loss so far on the season. You see there, good shot of just what we're seeing on the pitch there with the wind. Here's Luca Lobo from the Roughnecks, as we mentioned, 5 goals, top goal scorer there in the USL Championship. Top scoring team there in the Western Division. Now with 13 goals on the season when you add the 2 here. And the Roughnecks at the top of the table there in the West, Dave. And we mentioned this is the fastest start to the Roughnecks, not just from a goal scoring perspective, but also too with the number of points that they have. Fastest that we've ever seen here from Tulsa since they have joined USL.
Yes, they've scored in every single game, haven't they? So even though they lost to New Mexico, we just talked about, they're playing Tacoma Defiance. You know, they still scored a goal, and they looked pretty good in the second half in that game, I might add. It's just amazing if you followed the Roughnecks from you know, the outset of what is this? You know, few seasons in now, and you know, it's an incredible start for them.
Western standings, there you see Timbers 2 and Sacramento Republic. Roughnecks have a game in hand, but Timbers 2 and Sacramento with 7 points as well. Fastest start in team history with 7 points is this year. It took them 6 matches to get to 7 points in 2017. So this scoring pace as what has let Tulsa jump to the top. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. And last week we had made mention that, oh, well, we don't see Louisville City FC there. And here they are just 1 week later. There was 6 Point Dave, currently in 4th place. Tampa Bay Rowdies and St. Louis FC also leading the way with 7 points there in the 1st and 2nd spot.
Yeah, North Carolina FC for me, 2 wins there, 100% record. Watch out for them. I think they're going to be there or thereabouts.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And they are both of the goals that we have here from the Roughnecks here in the first half. And it didn't take long for the Roughnecks to get on the board due to a PK, the foul inside the box. And it was Rodrigo da Costa who stepped up to the penalty spot and was able to convert that first goal for the Roughnecks to give them that 1-0 lead here in the early going.
And the man who got it was Alton Moreno, who's been amazing because he's giving young Andrew Samuels at right back a really, really difficult time. And there was no question that this was a clear-cut penalty. There's the second goal right on half-time. Look, as Roy Robinson, the 4th official, holding up the board. And that was virtually the last kick of the game in the first half, giving the Roughnecks that 2-0 lead. So important score. Here's Alton Moreno with a shot just wide of the target. He's been a thorn in the RGV Toros side. But, you know, Pop, we said going at half-time, and RGV Toros are going to make a substitution, which we'll tell you about in a moment. But, you know, both teams now have had their coaches' team talk. And, you know, the Roughnecks will be saying, come on, we want another one. We really want to put this one to bed. Whereas RGV Toros are going to say, come on, we're in this. We've been possessing the football, you know, at times. Let's be a little bit sharper with our passes. Let's get a goal and let's get ourselves back in this game.
I'm sure Michael Incian had a word for the back line as well for their shaky start. They got much better as the first half was able to progress on, but a little bit of a shaky start that I'm sure caught Michael Incian's eye.
Absolutely. He would have said that to his defence. Don't give away soft goals. Don't give anything to the away side here. You know, you must not let them back into this. And then if we can get the 3rd goal, then we've really got game management time and see this out for 3 points. Long, long way to go. Both teams very, very much in this.
Roughnecks looking to pick up more points here in one match against RGV than they did all of last season. Toros coming in off of the inaugural Copa Tejas with Rio Grande Valley and El Paso that ended in a 2-2 draw. And up until that game, Dave, Rio Grande Valley was one of only 2 clubs that had yet to find the back of the net in the USL Championship.
Yeah, as we said earlier on in the first half, it was 2 late goals to give them that 2-2 draw, and here they are, you know, fighting 2-0 again. So they've done it before, they can do it again, their fans will be saying. So we've got a substitution, and it was Carbasis that's gone off.
Nico Liminoy.
And a bit of a shuffle in the system, which we'll get into in a moment. Liminoy has gone on to the left-hand side. And Monroy has gone really more of a central role, pushing up there with Carlos Small. So 2 up top now for the RGV Toros.
to Murano. Far touch line. Small. Was able to keep it in. With the byline in the back. Floater across the face of the goal. Silva doing a great job there, settling near halfway line. Silva gets the ball back, cuts to the inside. Can he set himself up? Leaves it here. Rodrigo da Costa just wide.
Wonderful play from Janu Silva there, just setting up his teammate there. And really, Rodrigo da Costa, we thought that would be in the top corner, his left foot being so trusty, but he's just put it too far wide. There is the man in frame who's just curled that shot. Here is the Tankersley food, whatever it takes, replay. Here's Janu Silva, look at that, sets up his teammate, curls it just over the bar.
Well, that was virtually a two-man game there with da Costa and Silva. And da Costa is the one that kept that run alive after the initial service. There's Small looking for the long service ball out off of his line. Comes Mason Steidehar. Send that one out of play. Toros quickly want to go with the throw in here.
Well, RGV Toros will say we got away with it there with the shot being curled wide. Now we're on the attack. We need to open the scoring in this second half and get ourselves back in the game.
Steidehar has it easy. Mason sends this one forward. Lost there at midfield. Still trying to go direct there to Small. That's where the majority of at least the looks have been here in the early portion of the second half.
Roughnecks trying to continue in the same vein with possession of the football. Good ball down the right here for Akil Barrett.
Barrett cuts it back. Lobo. He's had a relatively quiet night, has Luca Lobo. We are not used to seeing that as of yet. Legrandre had the hustle to get back and earns a throw in. And
yeah, Legrandre's done well at left back for Mike Ency, and he seems to have settled on him at left back and trying to get a settled back four. And I think he's had a good steady game tonight. He's done more defending, as you would expect as left back, although he has made some foraging runs up the left-hand side, but he's got Alto Moreno in front of him, so one could argue he doesn't need to attack down that left-hand side if you've got a quality of Alto Moreno doing his job up the left-hand side there.
Steidehar had to quickly get rid of that one. Press coming in from his left-hand side. Leaves it there to the outside. Ball played across. Sipper and Hedrick there to clear it away. Sets up a Red Crown Credit Union corner now for the Toros, as Martinez will get set to put this one back in play.
Yeah, more defending for the Roughnecks here, but good start to the second half from RGV Toros. They've certainly listened to the coach, and here they are trying to open up the scoring in the second half.
Right-footed ball is there. That was Rodrigo. That was the first Roughneck player there. It's a hard challenge from Adai.
Yeah, just a little bit too strong there, Jeffrey. He's pleading his innocence to the referee, but I think he was just a bit overzealous there, and it's a chance for a great ball in here from RGV Toros.
See here on the challenge. Yeah, just kind of using that arm and advantage there as Chewy hit the turf. Towards the far post, the header well wide. You also saw the run there from the back line from Kyle Adams.
Yeah, I think Kyle Adams almost got in the way of his teammate there, didn't he? He came up from the back. We've already talked about how great a player he is defensively. Got in a fairly good header there, but could not penetrate the Tulsa Roughnecks goal, and it remains 2-0. And the Roughnecks will say at this time in the game that they are, you know, in control of the game, you would say. Still, the stats will talk about them just being more than 50% in possession. And here they come again, but they want to throw in on the far side. Going to be important, I think, with the substitutions in the second half of both sides.
Silva had his back to the goal, as does Bastidas. Chuy Enriquez there to save the day. Jeff Adai tried to fit that one past Kyle Adams, could not do so. Boy, Small took a tumble, and several RGV players, including Monroy, were there almost begging for a call. We'll have to see if we can get a better look at it on replay, as now Steidehar has this one.
It was interesting, wasn't it? The coach was certainly up from the bench there, pleading, but Malin Roberts was pleading his, you know, innocence. Small went down. If anything, it was accidental, but referees do give them. So, interesting one, nothing given, and we carry on.
Nice return ball there from Bastidas. Looking for Altamirano. A foul is called.
Well, you'd say this is what, getting on for 30 yards out, but we've seen some spectacular goals. So don't count this one out as being a shot on frame. Or will it just be that little chip ball in behind the line, which they always push up to the kind of 18-yard line here?
Forgot to mention earlier the sub, Nico Limanoy. He's only played 19 minutes so far. Bastidas, the header directly at Michael Nelson. Was looking for the offsides flag. No flag was raised.
I have to say, so was I. We're looking down at the assistant referee down there. No flag. It must have been a perfectly timed run. And in the end, it was a free header on frame. And the Roughnecks will say, perhaps they should have been 3-0 in the lead.
Towards the far corner. Enriquez. Assistant's flag is up, and that will be a foul. It was a hard challenge.
And I think the referee is going to show a yellow card. Yes, he is.
It will be a yellow card.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a deserved yellow card there. Oil Fire Whiskey, American's first seductive handcrafted spirit. Yellow card because he was late on the challenge to Enriquez.
So we'll mark down Le Grande in the books on the yellow. Here in the 56th.
First one of the game. I think referee's done well. He's communicated well to the players, but I think that deserves a yellow card.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Service there, the header. And this will be a foul on RGV.
And now the referee's got his card out again. Well, both sets of players, they're feeling they, should have had the decision. He's gone with the defender, and we'll have to see who the yellow card's for.
Was that McHugh?
McHugh was certainly involved, and there's a yellow card.
I think that might have been to Hernandez.
You're right, sir. Number 8, Hernandez goes into the book.
Tough to see in the scrum that was there. Here's a replay of it.
Well, he was going for the spectacular, wasn't he? And it's just always difficult, isn't it, when there's a player that sort of stoops and then there's a boot to the chest, as I think it was there. A little bit unlucky, but you understand why the referee saying it was a high flailing boot in there. So 1-1 on yellow cards. 2-0 to the Roughnecks.
Several players that were there in the mix for that. Altamirano, Silva that's there. The quick challenge from Kyle Adams to negate Silva's attempt. Roberts, wayward ball past Barrett. Barrett was clapping in appreciation for the effort here in the 58th. So it was Hernandez that was booked. Limonet was there as well for RGV. He was kind of in that vicinity. A couple of other players. Initially thought that it might be McHugh, but it is now Hernandez. Silva tangled up with Hernandez. Limonet was open there down the near touch line. Nelson. Small was looking for a call there from the ref on Hedrick. Hedrick up with a nice challenge. Quickly back to him. Searching ball forward has Silva. Legrande beat to the outside. Good help there from Bastidas.
Yeah, Enriquez is really, grown into this game, and he's really a threat now down that right-hand side for RGV, who've got another corner.
Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org. All played in, headed away. Onto the left boot, and that kept rising.
Yeah, it was Limonet, wasn't it, with his left footer there, but he thought there was a touch, but no, says the referee. It just went sailing over. There is the man in frame, just 18 years old.
Fans, you can follow the Roughnecks and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. And thank you to those of you who are watching in live. Things are starting to get a tad bit more chippy, Dave.
Yes, a few, the foul count is going up a little bit, isn't it? And the referee's just got to keep a lid on this, which he is doing very well. And I think both sets of players just need to, you know, for different reasons, keep the lid on it as well. The Roughnecks won't mind it getting a little bit cut up, as we say. But I think, honestly, both sets of players would prefer to see a flowing game of soccer.
That ball hung in the air for quite some time. Hedrick finally had to make the play on it. Saw Steidehar come out towards the edge of the box as well. Just continued to hang. DaCosta sends this one out of play. Both teams are getting set for a sub, and we will see the Roughnecks first.
Yeah, and Akil Barrett is going to be the man to come off. Tedford Insurance, protecting dreams since 1978. Barrett's worked hard. He's had a couple of runs down that right-hand side. So we're going to see a substitute for the Roughnecks.
Fredlin Montpierre, his first appearance.
Yeah, Montpierre, that'll be interesting to see whether that's a like for like. Barrett's worked hard. He got the start last Saturday. He's got the start tonight. A little bit disappointed to be going off, and we will see what this young man could do. And RGV Toros, again, they make a Tedford Insurance substitution, projecting dreams since 1978. And we'll tell you about that substitution in a few moments.
Sitting out of play on the far touchline. Throw in now for RGV. Here's Adams. Coronado. Is that a quiet night? All the way through the back line now with the captain Adams. Hernandez sprays out wide. Service comes in. DaCosta plays off of a member of the Toros for a throw-in. By the way, that was Salazar that came in for Small. Towards the byline. Trying to find Montpierre. Settled by DaCosta. Rodrigo with a blast. Adams, not much on it. Adai. Good defending from Hernandez.
But Pop Adams doing what any great defender does, and that's be in the right place at the right time. And he blocked the shot. He's had a great game for me.
Roughnecks not done. Oh, just a tad bit much there for Le Grande.
Yeah, just too much. He hasn't, as I said in the commentary a few moments ago, you know, with the likes of, you know, Christian Altamirano in front of you, you don't have to forage forward too much, but he did get ahead of Altamirano there, overlapping run, but just too strong. And now we've got an injury. Tulsa bone and joint, moving life forward. So a slight break in play here. Weather report, it's, you know, quite a nice evening, isn't it? I think the wind is still there. It's not quite as strong as when we saw that second goal go in just before half-time, Pop, but it's still around.
You can still tell that it's a bit cloudy outside. Cannot see any stars so far here in the nighttime sky at One Oak in downtown Tulsa.
I would still say, you know, if you're a Toros fan watching in here, there's still hope for your side. Okay, you'd like a few more chances on goal, of course, but you are dominating the possession now. And I think, you know, if you're a Roughnecks fan, you want that third goal. But RGV Toros, you know, if they can get the next goal in the game, we've really got a game on. It's a good game. It's pretty much end to end. And the substitutes are all making an impact into the game as well.
McHugh is up. He's jogging there towards the midway point. They will welcome him back on at the first opportunity. Homegrown players signed to the first team on October 30th of 2018. There's McHugh, who is back on the playing surface.
There's a few tackles flying in now, Pop, and all good. No fouls from the deemed by the referee. Here's Montpremier.
Montpremier. First action of the 2019 season for him. Represented Haiti in the 2014 Under-20 FIFA World Cup. Hedrick. Oh. Well done there by Cyprian Hedrick just to poke it away from Salazar. Still not done though. Running on to Salazar. The shot slammed into the side of the net. No harm there for Steidehar. But what I like about that from Salazar is after that initial run, he continued to follow through and received a well-played ball towards the byline. And here's this. Steidehar had the angle cut down, and also there was Roberts in case he wanted to pull that ball back across the face of the goal.
You made good points about the defending. What I would say, though, what a lovely through ball from Enriquez, who's by far, you know, for me, the most attacking man of the match player, I would say, for RGV Toros tonight. Another injury, which the referee's going to have to blow the whistle and stop the game.
That's Salazar who's down. He's holding the back of his head. Cyprian comes over to make sure he's okay. Yeah, just a simple challenge there for that ball.
Well, I think in a minute we're going to see another Tedford Insurance Protecting Dreams since 1978 substitution, which my friend Mr. Jeremy Poplin will tell you about right now for the Roughnecks.
We will. It will be Brian Reyes. Came on as a sub against Orange County SC and the Tacoma Defiance. Has played a total of 44 minutes.
And it looks to me like Luca Lobos is going to go to the left-hand side. And Brian Reyes will go to the right-hand side.
Reyes, the native of Yoro, Honduras.
And by the way, I think that's a sensible substitution made by Coach Ensign there. Oh, the referee's going to...
Another booking now.
Yeah, for Bastidas there. Slightly zealous with his challenge, shall we say. But Legendre did well. He played well at left back. He got a yellow card. He gets substituted to protect him. But as soon as he does, Bastidas gets a yellow card for a slightly overzealous challenge.
It's the second yellow so far this season on Bastidas.
Here it is. He does play the ball, but it's the follow through there. So a yellow card, Oil Fire Whiskey, American's first seductive handcrafted spirit. So the yellow card's totting up a little bit now in this game. And we said there's been a few challenges. It's a physical game.
71st minute.
Two players go down.
We'll see. The referee's going to point in favor of a corner now.
I think it was McHugh went down in the box there and he looked at the referee, put his arms up and said, why wasn't that a penalty? Felt he was hauled down.
Another Red Crown Credit Union corner. They'll keep it short this time. Left-footed ball somehow skips across the surface here to the far side to find Adams. Back out one more time to Martinez. The header and the goal! And just like that, the Toros have pulled within one here in the 72nd minute. And it's Nico Lemonet.
And it was a fine header, beautifully glanced in. We're going to see it on our replay here. Great ball in there, and look at that for a guided header. Nothing the keeper could do, and game on pop, 2-1.
And we'll find out now exactly how both teams respond. Lemonet, the sub there at half. Dangerous giveaway. Silva somehow spins away from it, comes back out to Montpremier. And he sends that one towards downtown Tulsa.
I have to say, you know, I think RGV Toros deserve the goal, the way they've approached the second half. We said it was going to be, you know, a good team talk from their coach, both coaches, and the Roughnecks have had a couple of opportunities, but the possession, the lion's share of it in the second half certainly has been RGV's.
Michael Incian, the head coach of the Roughnecks, now up towards the edge of the touch line. Have to look at some of those possession rate numbers, Dave, and see how they have come back to earth for the Roughnecks. There's another hard foul. That one's on Lobo. At halftime, well, it hasn't quite dropped as much as I thought. 53% still for the Roughnecks. Definitely tell, though, things have picked up. Isidro Martinez.
Should say as well, by the way, Martinez's delivery for the Lemonet goal was a real quality piece of play.
Roughnecks will have another sub coming up here in moments. Tulsa out the opposite end to Costa. Too much of an angle from Rodrigo. Holds his hand up there at the midway line. Apologizing to Alto Moreno. Cutting through is Monroy. Challenge there from Malin Roberts. Monroy wants a card, as does the captain, Kyle Adams.
I have to say, Pop, it was, we'll see it maybe on the replay, I think Adams has maybe got a yellow card for protesting. It was a strong foul from Roberts, and the lad was on his way. We'll see it here. This is a great run, by the way, from Monroy. Although, looking at it again, maybe the referee's got that right, that it wasn't a yellow card. But let's say on another day, you know, you may have seen a yellow card there. Nervous times if you're a Roughnecks fan. It's 2-1 the score, and RGV certainly way back in this game now, looking to equal things up.
Radosov has the magic spray out. Three-man wall now for the Roughnecks. Monroy Monroy's ball there, Studahar. It was wide of frame. Mason tracking there towards that post, making sure that he had everything covered in his first start of the season for the Roughnecks tonight, filling in for Sean Lewis, who unfortunately came up injured last Saturday. Roughnecks keeper, this is Manny Gonzalez, who is waiting to check in, and it's going to be for Bastidas, who looks like that he is hobbling just a bit as he makes his way off the pitch. So Manny Gonzalez, first minutes of the night.
Hobbling and also on a yellow card, Pop. So I think, you know, and a like for like. Manny Gonzalez will get in there and will try and win the ball back.
And Gonzalez has played 212 minutes so far, started against Timbers 2, Orange County SC, and New Mexico United. And this is the last place that if you are RGV, that you want to have a free kick here from the Roughnecks, because they have been deadly so far this season. And it will be Gonzalez standing over the top of this one.
It's just left of center, probably about 25, 26 yards out.
Four-man wall. Gonzalez blast off the side of the face from McHugh. Trying to find Silva inside the box. He does. And now a Red Crown Credit Union corner for the Roughnecks here in the 78th minute.
Well, hold on to your hats, folks. This is going to be some last 12 or 13 minutes plus the ball. We've seen a fair few injuries as well, Pop. So I think we've got probably a good 15, 16 minutes left in this game. And, you know, the next goal is so important in this game now, of course.
Left-footed in-swinger from Rodrigo, curling there. There was contact between Silva and also Emilio Hernandez. Nelson will send this one forward. Hedrick, not much on the clearance. Gonzalez now tracking back for the Roughnecks. And a wasted opportunity there. Goal kick now coming up for the Roughnecks. You can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. You can search for the Roughnecks and then click the follow button to keep up with all the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the Roughnecks next match. You can go to ESPN.com now and click the follow button for your club. Salazar cuts to the inside of Roberts. Right-footed cross, a bit behind Chewy. Equals a throw-in now for the Roughnecks as Lobo will track this one down. Taking his time is Luca Lobo. League leader in goals with 5 so far. Relatively quiet night for him.
You were talking about the Roughnecks' next games. They've got a couple of trips now, haven't they, to California to face Los Dos and Fresno.
Fresno, of course, with Mr. Juan Caffa.
Still loved in these parts, as he wore a Roughnecks shirt, dead ball specialist. Now with Jeff Adai and Manny Gonzalez here, you've got two guys that are just going to sit in the midfield for the Roughnecks and try and see this out in the last 10 minutes plus the injury time.
RGV somehow comes away with that one. Kept in play there along the touchline. Monroy finally knocked away from him.
Limone, I've been impressed with him since he's come on as a sub. He scored the goal, but he's made a real difference. Good substitutions from the coach.
cross now. Well behind its intended target.
Yeah, it's a couple of times now. Andrew Samuels has done that, just over-hitting the ball. Just needs to get it into the danger area, of course, with 9 minutes to go.
How do you feel that Mason Stuydehaar has done here in his debut?
Yeah, I think he's done well. He's done nothing wrong. He couldn't have stopped the goal. I think everything else he's done has been simple. Hasn't had, you know, a fantastic save to make that, you know, keepers love to do. But, of course, they also equally as well love to just do the what I call the bread and butter, which is to catch the ball and distribute. He's got a massive throw on him, by the way. We've seen that a couple of times. Throws it way past the halfway line. And I think he probably does it because he thinks he gets more accuracy with it.
Samuels had to play back to Nelson through the center circle now. Montpremier. Not enough from Roberts. So Kyle Adams take 2 steps backwards. Had a retreat there with Silva. Ball kept in the air. Good challenge.
Yeah, Reyes did well there because he's up against the tricky Nico Lemone, and that's, as we said, he's made a lot of difference. But good substitution from Coach Ensign as well. Bring fresh legs on against him at right back.
Roughnecks a bit discombobulated now. Corner of the 18, leaves it there. Unfortunate there from Monroy. Monet fighting there with Reyes, and Reyes not giving an inch there against Nico, the goal scorer.
No, good defending again. He's done well since he's come on, that young man, Mr. Reyes. Strong against the young 18-year-old.
We had talked about the importance for the Roughnecks in having 3 home matches here in the first month of the season. How important it is for them to take as much of advantage as they can, which is why this final moments of regulation and stoppage time are so important for them.
Yes, they'll certainly want to go away with these 3 points, and they know they've been up against it.
Because they're not going to be back home until April 24th.
And in contrast, RGV fans can look forward to 3 home games against New Mexico, Oklahoma City Energy, and Las Vegas Lights.
Altamirano took a shot upstairs, sold it well, earns a foul. That's Samuels. I think the referee is going to say, hey, we got the foul call. Not going to get much more than that, as we see here. Yeah, just a little shove there from Samuels. By the way, Mr. Saunders, a little bit of trivia for you. The first ever home match for RGV was against?
Well, I'm going to say the Tulsa Roughnecks.
You are correct, sir. The first ever away match in franchise history was against the same Tulsa Roughnecks, as Altamirano's ball finds its way over the byline.
Yeah, just a little bit wasted there. Yeah, good rivals, these two. Have had some good games. And this is one of the best we've seen. It's the Roughnecks going into that 2-0 halftime lead, which you always say is a dangerous lead to have at halftime. And you have to say RGV Toros have shaded everything in the second half, and they deserve their goal. They still trail by 2 goals to 1, though.
Reyes thought that he had earned a throw in. Has to quickly get back and Silva just harassed from behind there. Knocked away from him briefly. Crossing in, still free in the box. Somehow got the cross away and the header sent over the top of the bar. Well, that's twice now.
Enriquez is so tricky, Pop, isn't he? He just twists and turns, and if there's not an opportunity, he can't see a way through, he'll twist and turn a little bit more, and he's frustrated sometimes with his teammates because they almost can't see what he's going to do. He's that good a player.
Limone almost had a second. Haven't been able to find him inside the box. The Roughnecks defense hasn't so far tonight.
Well, that's good attacking play and good defending as well from Mr. McHugh. Good battle, that one, Rodrigo da Costa and McHugh. 3 minutes to go. Red Crown Credit Union corner for the Roughnecks.
And I apologize, I was incorrect. Los Dos was the first ever home game for RGV. It was the first match and first away match were for the Roughnecks. '88th minute. Toros set for another sub. Here, as soon as they get the opportunity, that ball went over the line. And now we'll have a chance to see this sub come on.
And it's going to be Wilmar Cabrera, who is an attacker. So they're really going to go for it. And they're taking off a defender, Eric McHugh. So they've gone 3 at the back, I would suggest, and really going for this pop. 3 up top now. Throwing the kitchen sink at it. 2 minutes to go of the 90.
I would assume we'd have a relatively nice chunk of stoppage time as well for RGV.
I do think so, because there's been several players who've gone down. The referees had to stop the game several times. I would suggest 4 or 5 minutes on the board.
By the way, wanted to mention that the Roughnecks were also number 9 this week at USLChampionship.com as far as the debut of their away jerseys. The top 10 away kits. Roughnecks were 9th.
Excuse my ignorance, was that fans' choice voting for that? Or?
Don't believe so. I believe that was just via the website.
Nice to be in the top 10. Just a minute left before we see that board. Still anybody's game.
Roughnecks now will take their time here.
Fourth official ready with the board. Game management time for the home side.
Looping throw there from Reyes. Premier. Gonzalez. Well done there from Gonzalez to find Lobo. Altamirano will take this towards the corner. Nope, elects to cut back inside. Edge of the 18, takes on 2 defenders. Waste a little bit more time as 4 minutes have been added here to stoppage time. Stoppage time presented by Osage Casino Hotel. Learn more at osagecasino.com.
Throw into the Roughnecks. Altamirano will go across and take it, and the referee is saying, if you don't hurry up, I'm going to have to give you a yellow card. Or he's talking to Enriquez, who says, come on, we need this to be in play.
Goal kick now. Knocked away from Silva. Quickly here, we'll see Nelson try to push everyone forward as far as he can. Driven ball. Salazar there with Hedrick. Steinhardt was there just to make sure if it might have been last touched by a Roughneck player.
Yeah, it's good alert, goalkeeping right to the last.
Steinhardt, when he was there in Orlando, actually became pretty close friends with one of his teammates, Tony Rocha, who played his college soccer at the University of Tulsa, who was traded to NYFC. But those two were pretty tight. Little misstep as Silva comes over. Contact there with the keeper. It was a poor touch from Nelson and a stiff challenge from Silva. He's up and okay.
Yeah, Nelson did well there. And Silva just banging into him, but both of them just patted each other on the back. Good sporting play.
About the skill from DaCosta. Unlucky there. Adams clears it off of the guard from Rodrigo. Montpremier and Adai. Adai's got to hurry and hustle back. Good physical work there from Adai on Monroy.
Jeff Adai is one of those players that you don't notice exactly what he's done in a game, but he's done an awful lot. He just breaks things up, plays off short passes, and he's a coach's dream because he just sits in that midfield and, as I say, just is annoying to the opposition because he breaks things up so well.
The definition of blue collar.
There you go. That's good play from Coronado. Roughnecks nearly there, but you just sense there might be one more RGV opportunity before the end.
Takes one long ball through if they can find an alleyway.
It's going to have to go fairly quickly now. There we are, there's the long ball.
Chuy Enriquez has put in some work tonight, Dave Saunders.
He certainly has. Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be on the losing side if he is going to be on the losing side. Still time to go.
Just 2 wins away from Rio Grande Valley last year for the Toros. And trying to change that here in the early going. Sinner looks at his watch. We're getting set, and that will do it. The Roughnecks are able to hang on and survive for 3 more points here at home. They go to 10 and still find themselves at the top of the table in the Western Conference with a 2-1 victory over RGV. And it wasn't pretty at times by any means, but 3 points are 3 points. And for this franchise, they will happily accept that as they get set for a lengthy set away from One Oak Field.
Yep. Later on in the season, the Roughnecks will look back at this one and say that was a hard-earned 3 points. Congratulations to both teams on a great game. RGV Toros will go away with nothing, unfortunately, but they've really taken this to the Roughnecks, having gone in 2-0 down at half-time. You know, wonderful fight back from them. It wasn't pretty, as you said, at times. Nobody worked harder than Enriquez. He's unlucky to be on the losing side. The Roughnecks, though, with a penalty and a wonder strike, just about shade it and have the 3 points.
But this will go a long ways because in this lengthy USL season, Dave Saunders, you have to win games in a variety of different ways. Sometimes you have to hang on. Sometimes you can impose your will, like last weekend. And now we've seen several ways for this Roughnecks team to come away with 3 points here in the early portion of the season in front of 2,430 tonight here at One Oak Field on a Friday night in downtown Tulsa.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you just have to win your home games and hope you get some stuff on the road as well, you know, and that's what the Roughnecks are trying to do. They're trying to make One Oak a fortress where teams come here and they know they're going to be in for a game, and then, you know, They're going to try and pick up some points on the road as well, which they've done successfully. Great start for them. I'm sure RGV Toros will pick up as well as the season goes on.
Let's take a look at the highlights from tonight's 2-1 victory for the Roughnecks. It's Michael Incian and the players with the celebration. Here's Rodrigo da Costa with the classy finish on the foul from Samuels on Altamirano inside the box, and there's not very many keepers that are going to stop this attempt.
No, because it's the speed and the placement. And if you get both things right, you know, not many keepers, as you say, can you know, stop that. So that was 1-0. This is that was going to be the replay. The referee just sorting it out. Look at this for a strike just on half time.
Bastidas took 3 touches. There was not a Toro defender that closed down on him until the last moment. I thought the ball was curling well wide, and Bastidas comes over, puts his face right in the camera, does a little dance, and that sent the Roughnecks ahead 2-1. Here's the reverse angle of it, and you won't find a better goal than that. And here he comes directly into your living room.
Well, I think that's got to be up there for the USL goal of the week, hasn't it? Certainly a contender. That is a great strike. It was going away from the keeper as well. Great strike there. And there they are, the victorious team. They come away with a narrow victory, 2-1.
And credit to Bastidas for trying to fog up the camera, then autograph it with his finger. Well done from him on goal number 2 of the season for the Roughnecks, as they now have 3 more points and move to 10 before we get into the month of April, Dave Saunders. And what a difference a year makes, as this team was there at the bottom of the table consistently last year, and now for the last couple of weeks finds themselves at the top here in the West.
Yeah, they're not giving away soft goals. They're all working for each other. Credit the coach and his coaching staff. There they are, right on cue, because they've got them playing as a team. I said early on the commentary, they attack together, they defend together. They've found a way to win this. They're managing games. It's a different Tulsa Roughnecks this season.
13 goals total in the season for the Roughnecks. They win 2-1. For my partner, Dave Saunders, for the entire crew here at One Oak Field, great job as always, as we will send you home tonight with a shot of downtown. Roughnecks win 2-1 over Rio Grande Valley, the Toros. And we'll see you back here on April 24th at One Oak Field.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug. You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
In about 8th grade, I realized that my knees really were hurting, and I ended up tearing both of my patellar tendons in several places.
Dr. Stanley and Tulsa Bone and Joint, he gave us all of our options, explained them, and we knew walking out that we were in the best place possible for her. From a mom's perspective, without Dr. Stanley, without his staff, we would not have been able to give her her senior year.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.